Welcome back to my channel. I'm Calvin, aka Sunshine Shoulders. It's too late for me, but if you're a new man and woman coming to the Philippines, listen up. They say that hindsight is 20/20, and if I could do it all over again, which obviously I can't, I would change a few things about my life. This isn't about regret. This is about giving some tips to the new man and woman coming over here, just to make your outcome in the Philippines a whole lot better. So when you land, your landing is going to be a little bit softer.
Seems like somebody who gone through stuff and a little bit is getting wiser.
Over here, just give you something to think about. Because when I started coming over here in 2009, I didn't know then what I know now. I'm a lot wiser now. I'm a lot older. But probably the first thing that I would do if I could do it all over again, I would move into one of these bubble cities, is what I call them. And they're a city within a city, like BGC, Makati,
Yep.
IT Park, Cebu Business Park, Moncton, Newtown. Y'all know what I'm saying. These all-inclusive places. And no matter what you hear about Philippine infrastructure, the infrastructure in these places rivals anything I've ever seen before, anywhere I've ever been.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing, actually.
It's on
Infrastructure.
par with what you're used to. These places are safer. They're full of life. See, I've already built my house. It's too late for me. But if you're new, this is something that I would think about. Everything's there. The malls, the restaurants, the movie theaters, everything.
And one more thing, moving to a city within a city, as he said, it gives you a whole another perspective about, because most of the people from everywhere come to the big cities, normally find jobs and stuff like that, but it gives you a very good perspective and give you a bigger idea of what's going on,
Grocery stores, the nightlife, the beautiful people. Crime is low, man. And I know people say, man, I get tired of seeing the same thing over and over. Well, then, this is what you could do. Because it's too late for me. You could start traveling around.
I don't know about the crime is low. I'm not sure about that. I never seen, new, I can't just speak from
Southeast Asia. But if you plan ahead, you'll get the lower prices on flights, Airbnbs, and hotels. Well, go to Thailand, go to Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia. But I would take a look at these bubble cities, man. That's what I call them, man. It's very ingenious. Whoever thought about that? This is where the infrastructure is in the Philippines. It's second to none. It doesn't get any better than that. That would be the first thing I would probably change. It's too late for me, guys.
And beside that, don't just go anywhere and stay for a long time. You keep it moving,
Something else I would more than likely do.
Until you find somewhere you feel like, okay, this is a place where I would like to, stay long.
And remember, this isn't about regrets. I'm happy, man. Y'all saw my video yesterday. I really am happy. I'm content. I'm satisfied. I'm 61, man. I'm getting older.
61? He looks like way in early 50s, yeah?
It may be too late for me, but
or late
to
40s.
the new man and woman, I would stay single over here. I mean single. Meaning I would not have a live-in partner. Because having a live-in partner, man, it's going to bog you down in a place like the Philippines. It just is.
And you feel like you have got to stay in one place for long, and that's what I think what he meant.
And more than likely, having a live-in partner, you're going to have children, if you can still have children. You're going to eventually create the life over here that you were trying to run from over there. And I know some people, they want to come over here and get married and have a family and everything. Well, if you're going to do that, you might as well take them on back to your country. Because it's going to limit your movement over here. It's just too much to see here. And then living with another
Exactly. He said it to limit your movement. That's what. Yeah.
human being, it's stressful, man. It's difficult. It's not easy. And I mean me, her living with me, not me living with her. Remember, it's a two-way street. But I would stay single because you could still help her. You could still take care of her. Y'all could still see each other as much as you needed to. But you want your freedom. She could still maintain her independence. You could too. And if things heat up, you know, more than you are expected, then, you know, maybe on down the line you would think about moving in together.
Seems like he chose the wrong person, yeah? The wrong partner.
But it's a big responsibility. And right away, I wouldn't do it. I'm just telling you from experience because I've never been single here. From the very first time I came to the Philippines to now. It's just too late for me, man. I'm trying to help y'all to land
He had too much fun, yeah?
on your feet when you get here. See, people don't give vloggers enough credit, man. Y'all need to put some respect on our name. We give out
For sure.
some real good information,
Exactly.
but y'all don't listen. Y'all
We do.
listening to the armchair bros and the barbershop bros. They all in your ear. They ain't gonna bust a grape.
And we tell it like what it is. Like, we don't sugarcoat anything, yeah?
They're never gonna leave the living room couch, let alone come to the Philippines. But they're gonna tell you, don't listen to us. We don't know what we're talking about. We're only on YouTube for the money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, vloggers are giving out great information.
Exactly.
They're telling you where to move, just like I just gave you that tip. They're doing all kind of stuff, man. If you would just listen.
And advice from experience, not nothing, you know?
Your life over here, man, would start out so much better. But I would think about staying single for as long as you possibly can. Maintain your freedom and independence because you're moving into a whole different culture.
Look, man, he's not wrong. I mean, don't go into something too quick, thinking that, you know? Take your time. Take your time. 100% take your time.
It's going to weigh you down. I mean, it really is. You know, and if you do decide to date, you know, I would date a single woman who's single, meaning who doesn't have children, who doesn't have any other responsibilities but herself. Because it's expensive. You know, I've adopted my stepchildren. I mean, they've never given me not one problem. But I'm just giving the new man and woman some advice. See, I made every mistake over here that I talk about, and some. And if I could just help other people coming over here avoid those mistakes. See, I'm not a hypocrite, man. I don't talk about anything I haven't done.
Nah, I believe this guy. He's 100%, you know, honest, yeah?
You know, I share with y'all my boots on the ground experience. I'm transparent because I want to tell my story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want some other troll telling y'all my story. So all the stuff I'm talking about, I've done. Or I see the error of my ways and say, you know what, man, you should have did this. But yeah, you know, because you don't want to create the life over here that you're running from, ladies and gentlemen. It's too late for me. But for the new man and woman coming over here, this is just some tips. This is some things that you can think about to make your transition abroad a whole lot better.
I don't know where he is, but that place is so quiet and very nice, yeah?
Something else I would do is I wouldn't live here permanently. I wouldn't live in the Philippines permanently. I wouldn't live anywhere permanently. I would move around. And I'm getting this suggestion from a gentleman who's in Da Nang, Vietnam. He said, man, you know, before you were retired, you were stuck in one place. He said, now that you're retired, why would you want to be stuck in one place?
I mean, there's some people, they don't like to move around too much, you know? They don't want to change environment too much. Once and that's all. But, yeah,
It was profound to me. It made a whole lot of sense to me.
people are different. That's what I mean.
Because you do get bored sometimes. You do want to move around. So imagine if you could stay here 3 or 4 months, Vietnam 3 months, Thailand 3 or 4 months, Malaysia 3 or 4 months. And because the cost of living in those places are on par, lower than the Philippines, certainly lower than where you're coming from,
But if moving around too much, sooner or later you get bored and tired. I mean, but take your time, yeah?
it's reasonable. You can do it. There's people over here who do that. I had a friend who came here last winter around Christmas time. He went to 7 countries in 4 months while he was here in
That's way too much. That's way too much.
the
7 in
Philippines.
4 months, too much.
That's something I would consider. It's too late for me. If I go somewhere, I got to take my whole family with me, which I don't mind doing, but it would cost me an arm and a leg. It's too late for me. But for the new man and woman coming over, it's something that you should think about. You don't have to live in any place permanently. I've got a buddy, TJ. He moves around like that, him and his girlfriend. I'm not going to tell you anything I don't know anything about. Like I said, what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. But yeah, a lot of the things that I'm talking about on here, it's too late for me, man. I'm settled down. I'm 61. I might as well break out the rocking chair. It's too late for me, but I would live below my means. I would go as low as I possibly could. Not without being a cheap Charlie, but just to keep my options open, to save money. Because who knows
Not spending on something not useful and not beneficial for you, yeah?
what the future's going
Just for the for the hell of it, yeah? And you don't need to.
to bring. I wouldn't come over here wasting my money like a lot of us do. I went cash poor on my house.
Mm-hmm.
It's too late for me, but it's something that you should think about. Rent here is extremely cheap. I mean, you could sacrifice on the rent and then make
It depends actually, not 100% true, but I don't agree 100%, but it depends on the place and stuff like that, yeah?
up for
And the more researches you do, the better it is.
it somewhere else. You could eat real good. Because you don't need the expensive clothes over here. It's just too hot. It's always hot over here. It's uncomfortable wearing all that stuff. You know, most of the time I'm in a t-shirt and shorts, slippers, or tennis shoes if I'm going to the gym. But I would live below my means. I think it's a whole lot, it's funner, man, than having all this junk to carry around. You gotta have some place to put the junk. Even now, I don't have a whole lot in my house. You know, that's one thing that
You're talking about furniture, guys. It's not talking about his family. It's talking about his clothes and stuff like that, yeah?
I've stuck to my guns with. I don't want all that junk that I had over in America. I mean, I just had so much junk. I hated to move. I want my life as simple as I possibly can have it now. And if I'm new coming over here, I would keep it simple. Very simple. I would even consider renting an apartment that's furnished. Remember, rent is cheap here. I would have as few possessions as I possibly could. Certainly when it comes
That's a good advice. That's a really good advice. You don't need to buy furniture and then you make yourself even deeper in
to
how to move.
transportation, I just would. You know, a lot of times when you buy these motorcycles, you buy these cars, man, it's hard to get rid of them
Mm-hmm.
if you do have to leave.
Unless if you're traveling with your motorbike, that's a different story.
It's just a waste of money, really. I mean, where are you going anyway? I mean, unless you're going to do one of these trips like a lot of guys do, they go around the Philippines or something like that. Otherwise, what's the point? I would live below my means. And you don't have to take any of these suggestions. I'm just an old grizzled veteran that's been over here on and off for 15 years. Hindsight's always 20/20. And I always sit around and I think, you know, what would I do differently if I
He's a military. He's from the military. I can see it. Yeah, he looks like somebody from the military.
had the chance
From the way he's, his
to
stuff.
do it? Maybe I can help the new man and woman coming over here. Because vloggers, we do have value. A lot of the people who don't make it over here, they earnestly want to make it. They just don't have the information. Some people just don't like it in the Philippines. And they're right too. It doesn't
And that's okay. That's okay. If you don't like a place, then move around. Find what's available. What's available in the menu. Then try anything. Try to eat anything, and then find out which one dish you like the most.
matter whether you like the Philippines or you don't. You're right.
Doesn't matter.
You have a right to your perspective.
Personal preference. You like some places you like some places you don't. That's all fine.
But some people come over here, they like it. They want to stay.
That's true.
But they just make the mistakes. They don't have the guidance. Because the armchair bros and the barbershop bros have told them that we're not credible. The information we're giving is not credible. We're only doing it for clicks and views.
If any information has value on it, then it's credible for sure. But depends on the value. It has value on it. 100% credible.
I don't work for the tourism department.
Mhm.
I don't get paid based on how many people I can get over here to the Philippines.
Exactly. You do it for the love of it, for the value you put in it, helping.
And I want to remind the people who think that way. If you talk about the negative things about a place, you're going to get just as many views and clicks as if you're talking about the sugary stuff. I just try to keep a balance. The vloggers have a lot of good information. One thing that helps you wherever you're going is if you want to be there. It's if you want to be there. Remember, I'm telling you these bubble cities because, when you get into these comment sections about what's wrong with the Philippines, the infrastructure always comes up. And this and that. Well, you go to one of these bubble cities, it's almost like you're living back in the West, guys.
Exactly. 100% true. That's true.
So it's too late.
And take it easy, change your environment, come to this here, live a little bit similar way, get used to it, then change it. You don't have to do the whole easy.
For me, I just wanted to throw out some tips
and slow.
today. Start listening to these vloggers, man. Don't base your decision to do anything solely on what we say. But
Exactly. Don't take the whole thing and run with it. Take what's good for you and what's valuable for you, and that's all what's matter. Yeah?
let that be part of the equation. So thank y'all so much for stopping by again. If you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, find it in your heart to help somebody. Not a day goes by that I don't help somebody. I was able to spin the wheel last night. The winner hasn't come forward yet. But it doesn't mean anything because I always give the money away anyway. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe, stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. And don't do anything stupid. Stop listening to these armchair bros and barbershop bros. They're not going to bust the grape. They're not going anywhere. At least talk with people who are doing what you want to do.
Exactly. That's a message by itself.
Who are going where you want to go. Does that make sense to you?
Make 100% sense to me.
Because it makes a lot of good sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Vloggers have a lot of good information. You can't throw us all into one basket. And that's what people try to do. On this video that I'm doing right now, it's some great tips from somebody with experience over here. Somebody who's
Exactly. Value with experience. Information with has value on it and who has experience on it, coming from experience. That's all what is matter.
made every mistake that you could possibly make. But I'm still standing. That's why my information is credible. I've
Valuable.
been through the fire. So take care, everybody.